What is up, folks? Sean the Average Angler coming at you with another great video. And today we're going to touch on something that I actually got quite a while ago, and I never got around to doing the review on it. So I figured today was a good day to do it. If you're new to the channel, you like this kind of content, we do some underwater stuff. I got the test pool now, so if you want to see that, take a look at yesterday's drop shot worm video, because we're going to have a whole lot more of that stuff coming. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button right down there. Join the community, and you won't miss any of this great content. So today, we're going to be discussing this combo that I bought. Okay, this is a Abu Garcia Veritas PLX, and I matched that up with an Abu Garcia Revo. I guess it's just called the Revo reel. I don't see any other markings on it. Revo 3X30. Okay. So let's get into the reel first. And one thing you will notice is there is no switch anywhere to back reel. Well, nowadays that's really not that unusual. So about par for the course, especially on some of the lower price stuff. I do have plenty of other reels that have that. I try to buy reels that have a good solid drag system, and I depend on my drag. I think a lot of us do that these days. In the old days, drags weren't that reliable. A lot of people back reeled. I have some old fogey friends that still do it. They're kind of prehistoric guys, you know what I mean? So this reel, and I'll get the prices. I'm pretty sure each one of these is around the $100 mark, if I remember right. But I'll look it up and put it in the description for you. So the reel, I actually like it. It casts really, really well. It's got a special design that I don't understand. The drag's really smooth, okay? But it has this special, if you look at the bevel on the reel here, Abu Garcia, Pure Fishing, whoever it is that does their marketing stuff, claims that it allows the line to come off the spool easier, so less drag on a cast, so you get further and more accurate casts. So I'm not sure how that makes the cast more accurate, but you get less interference, I guess. Now, if I look at some of my other reels, and I will just show you real quick. Then we'll get back to this. This Shimano Sahara has that. And this is old. This Daiwa Fuego does not. It's much more flat. Let's look at a Shimano Vanford. It does have the angle. All right, so I'm not really sure that it makes a whole lot of difference or not. Maybe it does in the aspect that you don't have to fill the spool up so much. I'm not really sure. I can tell you, it appears to work. It casts very, very well. The reel has a great drag on it. I mean, and it looks cool. You know what I mean? It's a good looking reel, and it performs. So rods and reels have come a really long ways since I've been in the industry and been fishing, and this is no exception. In the past, spinning reels were always kind of a nightmare. they had various issues, this and that. And you really had to spend a lot of money to get a good one. Nowadays, much like a lot of things, rods, reels have come a long ways. They're higher echelon reels. The technology has trickled down through those lower models, and you get a very good performing reel. Now we'll weigh this, and granted, it's got line on it. It is braid. I don't know how much that's going to affect it, but we'll see, just for a rough idea. And I'll look it up, and I'll put in the description what it weighs. Okay, it's pretty heavy at 8.3, but I don't really mind that too much, because quite honestly, I paired it to this Veritoss spinning rod, and the feel is the feel is generally pretty good. Okay, what is this rod? Let's see. It is a 6'9" fast, medium light, 1/8 ounce to 1/2 ounce lure, 6 to 10 pound test. I will say the action on the rod doesn't necessarily feel medium light when you have it in hand. Like, it doesn't feel whippy. But when I pull on the line, the rod bends decent. I'm going to say it's, I don't know. You know, I would say it's more towards a medium than a medium light compared to some other brands that I'm used to fishing. But I digress. Okay, let's get into the rod. The reel, I think, is a fantastic value. If you're on a budget and looking for a good quality reel that casts well, that has a good smooth drag, that Revo X spinning, and this is a 30 size. I think that's the perfect size for the spinning. It does the job. It's comfortable in hand. It works well. It feels pretty smooth. I give it the average angler endorsement. All right, moving on to the rod. I'm not the biggest fan of the white. I think this one looks kind of cheap. Okay, that's appearance. So take it for what it is. It has some EVA foam here that's very firm, and on the butt, I don't know if you can see it, I still have the plastic on there. It is made in China. Okay, so is everything else. Now, when I fished this rod, I was actually pretty impressed with it. It fished really well. It casts the bait well. And the rod and reel need to be a combination to get good casting. Okay, we're talking about accuracy. We're talking about feel. We're talking about it throwing the bait without too much effort, and the bait going where you're trying to hit. Now, if you're not a good caster, maybe that's not really measurable, but I'm a pretty good, accurate caster, and I do say that this worked really well. It does what it's supposed to do. So overall, again, the rod performs. Now, I've had some Veritoss rods in the past, and they were a bit on the brittle side. In other words, you didn't boat flip fish because the rod might break. Abu Garcia has done a really good job with that. You don't get that feeling in this at all. You will see that this rod tube is pretty thin, or not thin, small diameter. Okay, it's not fat. Like, just for comparison here, you will see that this tube is much fatter than this one. Okay, that a lot of times has to do with those higher end rods are thinner walled and more expensive. So it is what it is. What I will say, what I did not like about this rod is this here is very small. Now this is really personal preference, and it could be because my hands are giant, but this just feels so small in my hands. And if I could show you, it literally is fully wrapped just by my fingers. Okay, we're not even getting into the palm of my hand. And if I fished it all the time, it might be something that I become very partial to. My thought is that for people with smaller hands, female or kids, this might be very, very comfortable. They're not going to have the giant hands of somebody who's 6'4" like I do. But again, it could also partially be because of what I'm used to. Okay, the EVA foam, it's really firm. You know, on a $100 rod, I think it falls in line with where it should be. Now, I think these are $100. I got to look it up and verify that. It will be in the description. It was a while ago I bought it, pretty close to a year, so I don't remember. So I will put it in there. If it's a $100 rod, I think it's a pretty good buy. If it's $150, I'm gonna have to say I expect a little more, because it's not comparable to the iRod feel of the Gen 3s. Okay, but if this is a $100 rod and it's for someone new to fishing or on a budget, I think you can get a lot done with this. Okay, it's got good guides on it. It's a good build. It casts well. It does what it says it'll do. And as a $200 combo, I think it's a good value. Okay, let me know what you think down below. I'm Sean, the Average Angler. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.